The vision of the Africa BP project is to utilize the power of biodiversity genomics to deliver value to the African continent, value in the form of real contributions to the improvement and sustainable management of biodiversity across Africa. At CERI, our mission is to drive genomic surveillance and innovation in Africa. We are actively and continuously involved in the upskill and promotion of African scientists to tackle African challenges. For example, we are currently hosting the African Stars Fellowship, an advanced training initiative to develop the next generation of Africa's scientific leaders. Partnerships and engagements such as the Africa BP workshop provides the foundational tools required to promote innovation and also cultivates transdisciplinary research in Africa. So what excites me about the future of genomics and bioinformatics in Africa? It's here and it's right now. We have all of the tools and resources available to drive and lead efforts in genomics research. We are also geographically privileged to be part of a rich and biodiverse continent. Workshops such as these enable to really give back to Africa.
I am Yusasha Pillay. I am a past student and lab technician here at the Center for Epidemic Response and Innovation, and I'm part of the NGS lab. So over the past 4 years, not only have I been introduced to NGS technologies, but I have been entrusted with the role of facilitating many trainings here at CERI. I've really enjoyed the experience of interacting with delegates from throughout the Global South, and it's been very rewarding.
Hi, my name is Cohen Liederman. I've been at CERI for 2 years. I'm a HPCSA registered medical biological scientist and a PhD student. And my PhD research is focused on real-time surveillance of viral pathogens with a focus on reducing costs for low to middle income countries. So over the past 2 years, I've been in quite a few trainings. Predominantly, we've been doing every single year real-time influenza training, where we actually bring African fellows from all over the continent and we train them on our influenza surveillance assay, and we train them as well in the bioinformatic processing of their own samples. I think we need to invest in capacity building within Africa. There's quite the brain drain that happens where a lot of researchers actually leave to other labs, mainly in the global north. And by investing in African fellows and training them, we were upskilling the entire African continent for the betterment of public health in Africa.
My name is Tembile Sithole. I come from the beautiful province of KwaZulu-Natal, and I'm a registered master's student at the University of Zululand. I think that Africa, being the original place of humanity, strengthening and developing the sustainability of our genomic database is very important, especially because from a global perspective, the variation of genomic data does not predominantly include Africans. So I think it is very important for the sustainability and development of Africa. This workshop has really taught me the know-how to take care of my starting sample from the very beginning of the extraction process. It is very important because you have to then think about the further downstream process and the quality of that product. So very important. It has made me a more sharper and more mindful researcher.
My name is Raleboha Lesedi Nkwe. I am a postgraduate student at CPUT, so Cape Peninsula University of Technology. Just Africa in general, there's just so much untapped potential. If we can collaborate as scientists, we can share very valuable knowledge and insights, and also share resources that we don't necessarily have access to all the time. And I think in doing this, we can make a great impact on society in ways that we could never have imagined. I'm so excited to take the practical hands-on knowledge that I've gained in the lab. And I think learning about the Illumina sequencing technology and the platforms, I can explore my options a bit as to what I can pursue in my future research, and also get to teach some of my classmates who may not know about, the sequencing technologies.
My name is Maisha Mazuri Dwayne Panga. I am from the Malawi Liverpool Wellcome Trust. Because Africa generally, we have a very diverse genome. When our counterparts in Europe or abroad are doing the genomic analyses, they're missing a very vital aspect of the worldwide genome. When we collaborate also as African countries, we're able to produce that type of data set, which is a large gap in what is it being produced as a global representation of the genetic variation of the planet. So I feel like Pan-African collaboration, also because not every country can do everything that's needed on their own. So we need help to pool resources so that every country can be able to sequence their own genomes and contribute to that larger global genetic database. Also, I feel like we're underrepresented in the sense that not a lot of our own research is being done. And so Africa is sort of just like a sampling pool. And so we need to change the narrative and become data producers and not just primary data givers. The thing that I'm most excited about is DNA quantification. I learned that we can also use spectrophotometry, which is the nanopore, which I think you can use both if you want a very detailed and a very precise representation of your DNA quantity. To use both, to introduce both back home and go like, this is probably the best way to go to get a really good representation of what you're dealing with. I'm really excited to do that.
My name is Melissa Govinsamy. I'm at the University of the Western Cape and I'm originally from Cape Town. I think shared research is shared knowledge, and that is the foundation of how we're going to get forward in where we are right now. I'm really excited about the library prep and the analysis. I think that is the tools that I really need to further my knowledge. This workshop so far has really reminded me and inspired me why I started in this field in the first place. Inspirational, igniting, exciting.
My name is Mokaichi Lebranpapo. I am from Tswana University of Technology, but originally I'm from Limpopo in Polokwane. I think it's important because it gives scientists, especially young scientists, the opportunity to get a deeper understanding of how diverse African genetics can be and potentially how that can be used to solve health issues and just how they can also just conserve biodiversity in Africa. I think I'm more excited about the data analysis because in my research I really need to do a lot of data analyzing, and I think just doing, especially with separations, the DNA extraction, it took me back to my undergrad years on the stuff that we learned about, and I'm really excited to really know how to analyze data for my research.
My name is Olufunta Fanaro. I'm from the University of Johannesburg. I'm from Nigeria. We sequencing African data in Africa by African experts. And also the fact that we don't have disjointed effort. So now we don't need to repeat the same thing because now there's a concerted effort. So we know what is happening in Malawi, what is happening in Zimbabwe, and we can push the African front. On my end is you seeing what happens in the lab when you receive your data. Now you've been working with NGS data, but you really don't know how was the library prep done. So to witness the library prep is actually amazing. African empowering other Africans. And we do need to fly so far or spend so much money to gain knowledge.
My name is Ezintle Madiba and I'm from the Northern Cape in Kimberley, and I'm currently a master's student at Stellenbosch University. We as a continent, Africa, in genomics, we face so many challenges such as limited resources and the underrepresentation of African genetic diversity. And those challenges cannot be overcome by us working alone. So by working together, we can share the resources that we have and build stronger networks, and to also make sure Africa as a continent is not being left behind in global genomics. I learned that you have to work with high quality samples and preparation, because when it comes to your sequencing output is only as good as your input. It's the foundation. It's simple yet very important.
My name is Natasha Murapi. I'm originally from Harare, Zimbabwe. Currently, I'm a bioinformatics honors student at the University of Cape Town. I think collaboration in genomics research on the African continent is important for bringing together scientists from across Africa with their diverse expertise, for bringing together diverse perspectives into research. I also think it's important for pooling resources and data sharing, because ultimately it creates for stronger research, which is more impactful. This workshop is going to help me interpret and analyze my data more effectively.
The African Biogenome Project aims to enable African scientists in Africa by African scientists. And I think that's really crucial right now, given the current funding climate, and just enabling ourselves as Africans to do our own research right here on the continent. Partnerships between academia, places like CERI, as well as industry are really crucial to workshops like Africa Biogenome Workshop, without which we would not be able to host these workshops. We are very, very thankful to the CERI Lab for their space as well as their expertise that helps enable the next generation to take the next step forward. I think we're very, very good at generating data, but we have been lacking on the analysis of data. And I think with new opportunities, new software, as well as new collaborations, we'll be able to analyze this data and make a real difference on the continent.
To protect Africa's unique genomic diversity through genomics and to ensure it benefits future generations for food safety, conservation and health. So each partner brings something essential to the table. Academia drives research, centers like CERI provides expertise and training, and industry partners like Separations provide tools and technology. Together, these entities create the capacity to provide world-class genomics in Africa. The ability to develop local expertise so that African scientists can lead projects from start to finish.